I played the Pikmin 4 demo not once, but twice, in addition to doing further research on anything I missed out on, and I'm here to talk about a couple of things I caught my eye while playing. Naturally, this means I'm going to be talking about spoilers for the demo, so if you've been wanting to try it but you haven't yet, please do before you watch this. But with that being said, let's jump into it. The first thing I wanted to talk about is Olimar's situation. There's a prologue told by Olimar himself, and you get to play as him. He talks about how his ship, the Dolphin, crashed on the planet. Its parts went everywhere. He was distraught, lost all hope until he found the Pikmin. With them, he recovered a few of his parts and was ready to search the final area. Now, you'd think this would be the final trial, given this sounds like the setup to Pikmin 1, but it actually isn't. Not only does he end up in the house area from the trailer instead, he talks about how during this adventure he met the pup or dog from the same trailer. Turns out it's a girl, her name is Moss. She was depicted with a Pikmin tail from the very beginning though, so that's still a little strange to me, and I also still think her face looks like Emperor Bulblax's. But yeah, I wanted to go over that because, there's some red flags there. Either Pikmin 4 follows a parallel of Pikmin 1, I'm not saying exactly the bad ending, but some parallel, but, this is something a lot of people insist Pikmin is, as a series, too simple to do. So the other alternative is Olimar somehow busted up the Dolphin again, which is this is literally the fourth time. Anyway, Olimar finds his interstellar radio at the end of the prologue and uses it to cast out his emergency signal, which takes a month to reach the rescue corps, and you already know how the rest goes. The other thing I want to cover from the demo is it has to do with castaways. We've already seen how they work. You find them in caves and bring them back to your ship. But what we didn't know is why exactly they were here. Aside from your fellow Rescue Corps members, it turns out there are tons of other space travelers, but what we didn't know is why they were there. Turns out when Olimar sent out his SOS signal, he attached his logs to them. Now, since his logs are full of things like he found treasure, or he found mysterious wildlife in the form of big beasts and giant plants, turns out these things were just really interesting in the eyes of tons of other space travelers, so they came to the planet to look at this stuff, and probably also ended up stranded. And this includes the presence of some particularly leafy people. That's right, turns out Olimar is not the only one. In the demo, we actually get a sign as to why this is happening. There's a Dandori battle against the Olimar Pikmin guy, and before it starts, we see him and Moss, who is there, by the way, we're going to get to that. We see them shove the castaway into an onion, and then they are spat out as a leaf head. Since we have now seen the creation process, and this guy is accompanied by the dog that was traveling with Olimar, it seems that not only is this guy probably actually Olimar and not some fake, but there's a good chance that the reason he ended up like that was because either something happened that turned his own Pikmin against him and they transformed him, or there's a new, evil Pikmin type walking around that attacked him and they transformed him. Either way, this is an insane revelation, and I'm sure a lot of Pikmin fans are wondering just where the hell this is gonna go. At some point in the game, are we gonna figure out how to cure this? Is there gonna be a section where we get captured and turned into one and we figure out the cure on our own? I don't know, if multiple possibilities in a Pikmin storyline existing at the same time is a bit too complicated, I'm sure a segment like that would be. But these things may also be inspiring a potential redesign to my brand. You'll hear more from that maybe another time. But demo stuff is not the only thing I wanted to go over here. So something else I wanted to go over is there was like another trailer released when the demo was announced. This thing, for the most part, it's stuff from like the other trailers we've gotten just put together in one thing, but there were extra things, and the main part I wanted to talk about, they showed the Piklopedia, some of the creatures. So going across the list, it seems we have dwarf bulborbs, you know, the red variety, bread bug mimics. We have the creatures we saw in the direct with the glow Pikmin. We see the things that seem like they're the actual true young bulborbs. So second on the list, we seem to have that thing that seems to be the actual young bulborb. We have the you know, the big red bulborb, spotty, whatever you want to call it. Dwarf orange, big orange, dwarf bulbear, which are actually young bulbears, big bulbear, the whip tongue from Pikmin 3, bulborb larva, empress bulblax, emperor bulblax. So Emperor Bulblax is back, which is, in my opinion, pretty big. Now, something they showed that the Piklopedia has is there's not only the thing where you throw carrots at the creatures, you can also basically enter a training mode where you enter the little grassy arena on the side there with the creature, and you get to practice how you attack them. And in that practice mode, there were actually 2 Emperor Bulblaxes in the same arena. I don't know if you can just determine how many of them are there when you do that, but it seems it's going to be more akin to how he was in Pikmin 2, which hopefully not as reused as much, in like a smaller variant that's somehow even weaker than the actual boss form, which still could only survive like 2 seconds. So hopefully he's stronger this time. There's a fiery blowhog, the new ice blowhog. I'm assuming it's called Icy. Both forms of sheargrub, shearwig, fucking joustmite. The burrownid is what's not here. Swooping snitchbug. They probably have not returned the bumbling one, because in Pikmin 3 they just made the swooping snitchbug both. The skitterleaf, regular variety, anode beetle from Pikmin 2, matite from Pikmin 2, 2 variants of the spectralid, and what appears to be a very froggy variant of the creeping chrysanthemum. I did say I wanted a variant of that enemy, so I guess I got that. There's also sneak peeks of things down here. There's just a flaming aura, which if it wasn't separate from all the bulborbs, I would assume it was a fiery bulblax, but I think it might be something else. There's like this round rock creature, which I think is the one you see in the Scorching Cave guarding a pod location. People who played the demo, they know what I'm talking about. The Pyroclasmic Sludge from 3, and the Mamuda. Emperor Bulblax was like the big one I wanted to talk about here, but it's interesting because like there's not only new faces here, but returns from all games, and it seems Pikmin 4 is really dedicated to being like an all-star kind of thing, where it's like very, very few things are gonna be left out this time. And this, combined with all the stuff we've seen in the demo, is it's all pretty neat. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over, and since I have, I guess I'll see y'all another time. Bye everyone.